Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm 5 days in and I really haven't got anything done on this car other than getting it to the shop and getting it cleaned out, and not even cleaned out that good. So this is what we're going to do in this video. We're going to get the gas tank dropped. We're going to get the trunk vacuumed out and cleaned up. We're going to start repairing rust. So I've got to look around the windshield channel in the back here on top of the quarter panels, figure out how I'm going to figure that out and get that patched up. Get the deck filler replaced. I've got one of those, should be here tomorrow. Figure out what I'm going to do is patching the dash, and then I've got floor pan patches on the way. So the deck filler and the floor pan patches set me back about $300. That sucks. That's gonna be a big hit to the budget, but still gonna make this happen as cheap as I can, hopefully for my $5,000 budget, and hopefully have it done by about the 20th, the weekend of the 20th, right before Thanksgiving, so we can leave on a Wednesday and head to Daytona. It's gonna take a lot of work to make this happen, but I'm ready to do it. Get to work. All right, let's see if we can get most of this rust, instead of vacuumed out and making a bunch of racket, I'm gonna get it swept out through the hole here. Wow, that sounds rusty. Sounds very rusty. Yep, that's junk. Okay, so here's what I'm dealing with. Deck panel is going to have to be replaced. The package tray where the deck panel goes, I'm going to try to make a piece to patch that. Either way, I'll make that work without buying a package tray. The deck filler comes down to right here and goes over top of the quarter panel. Now, plenty of the quarter panel is rusted. Some in the trunk gutter right here. Some in the side, and then all the way up the side, obviously. Pretty much the whole thing is shot. The vertical part's not so bad, but the ledge that the windshield sits on, or the back glass sits on, is pretty bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a piece to fix all of this. Well, probably more than one piece, but make a piece to fix that. I'll get this out first, see what I'm dealing with. I would go ahead and cut some of this out tonight, but it's kind of late and I don't want to run my compressor and my cutoff wheel. I've got a new one of these coming, and right directly underneath it, the deck fill or the package tray doesn't look too bad, but obviously it's bad right here. Same thing on the other side. I've got plenty of rust repair patch panels to make, but I can make that happen. That's not terrible. And over here, at least the trunk gutter's not as bad. The trunk floor, well, I thought these are rust holes, but that's actually where the battery used to be mounted back here. And I think that's where the battery cables ran out. Not positive, but one hole is perfectly round and the other one's kind of round and looks like it was twisted. But there is plenty of rust back here, so I've got that to look forward to. I did get one of my shock extenders off of that side, got it unbolted, and it came out, so I'm going to weld some nuts to the top of that, strengthen it back up, and close that top. Looks like it was cut with a can opener. That side's still in. I haven't taken it apart yet, but I'll have to do the same thing over there. And if you're wondering, this is a shock extender. made in Taiwan. What these are used for is if you jack the back of the car up with either air shocks or, well, not air shocks, not really, but if you jack the back of the car up with shackles like this one was, your shocks became too short, so you had to put shock extenders on there, and that's what these were for. Hey guys, it's Wednesday night. This video should have been out this morning, and I'm still working on it. I'm way behind, but I'm going to fix all that. That's what's going to make this project so hard to do, is just people have lives and jobs and stuff gets in the way, and doing something stupid like trying to build a car in 45 days, regardless of the budget, is very tough. But anyway, I've got some floor pans. I also bought a deck filler panel. They're all AMD, and I'll put a link in the description in the video if you want to buy this stuff. Now, honestly, the full floor would be a better deal for this car because it's got, even though the center section isn't rusted that much, it's got enough holes drilled in it where seats have been mounted in it 40 different times that it would be better to put a whole floor in it, and might be less work by the time you cut everything out and do the fitting. It'd probably be a good idea to put a whole floor in it, but I'm trying to save money, and this is how you do that. So I'm going to cut here and here, which is just outside of the structural parts that go underneath this, and they are included in a new floor, but they are not included in this piece. So to avoid having to cut all of that off and leave the braces intact and cut all the spot welds and stuff out, I'm just going to cut out the foot wells and use what I need to. Now, this does include part of the toe board, which this is a factory seam on the full floor pan stops right here, and then the firewall includes this section. So on that one, this is a seam, but since it's all rusted anyway, it's nice that it comes with this. It doesn't come up far enough because I've got rust farther than that, but it'll get me started on getting all that repaired. So I'll get to the duct filler later, but what we're going to do is going to get this cut in a couple pieces where I think we need to be as far as the braces going underneath. Then we're going to put those in the car, mark everything out, get the floor cut out, get these test fit in. Let's get started. Okay, so my reinforcement is right here, and the edge of that comes up to about right here in line with these holes. I'm going to probably cut the new pan all the way to right here, so it'll overlap about an inch or so, and I'll try to clean this up real good and see if I can wet it to that. I'm just going to cut all of this out. I'm going to kind of mark how high it needs to go. I'm going to cut all of that out as far as the panel goes and just get as much of that crap out of there as I can. As far as the toe board, we got rust holes all the way up here. That's inside that structural pocket. We've got some up here, but not terrible. I'm going to cut up. I'm going to get it laid in here and kind of figure out how much I need to cut out. And then this I'll take right up to the rocker panel. Okay, so we've got the floor pan kind of sitting on top here. It's going to give me an idea of where it's going. It's too far forward, I think. It needs to come back a little bit, right around there, because I cut that edge right there. Now it's obviously going to go down some, so I can't mark way up here. I'm going to have to get some more of that cut out, but I kind of got a general idea of where to go. Depending on the edge here along the side, if the very edge of the floor pan is in good shape, I'll actually cut this flange off and lay this on top of the other one instead of doing the whole thing along with the rocker panel. That's kind of how I did the ones on Nova, and I would prefer to have that. Now, if all this metal down this side is junk, then I'll probably just take it all off and weld it from underneath like the factory one is with little spot welds in it. But anyway, this has got me a starting point. So now I'm going to go ahead and get this one marked, get it cut out, and then I'll do this one first, and then all the others will follow. Okay, now that torque box comes down here and across, so probably right across here. There's going to be spot welds there. I'm not going to pry that up, but I went ahead and cut all the way around it just in case. I'm not sure that's cut all the way through, but I'll figure that out in just a second. Let's see if we can pry up on this. Okay, so this ought to come out pretty easy now. There we go. You see where the toe pan or the firewall and the floorboard normally meet up right there, like that factory seam I was talking about. Now I'm going to clean this edge right here up and see if that's good enough to weld on top of and leave it like that, or if I got to cut that out and actually use the side edge of that new panel. Now my torque box goes from right here all the way up here, so I need to get this out, or all this material off the torque box, see what kind of shape that box is in. And there might be a different name for it, but I'm calling it a torque box. Anyway, this up here, not too bad. There's a little bit of rust here, mostly around where the rivets were in. Doesn't look too bad underneath. Maybe it'll clean up good enough anyway. And the support brace, actually the flange on it's right here, so it runs right down here and right along this edge. So it was a little farther up than well, it tapers back, so that's why I was thinking it was farther back. But anyway, I'm gonna clean this up, see how good that is, and we'll get the other piece fitted to set on top of it once I get all this junk out of the way. Okay, so the torque box itself does not look too rusty. It's a lot thicker metal than the floorboard is, so typically when the floorboard is rusty, the box there is not as bad as the floor. It can be, but sometimes it's not. What I'm going to do is, this thing is tack welded or spot welded down here. I'm going to cut from here to here, and most of this should get out, and then I can drill out individual spot welds or get that piece off of there, and then I can go up here and cut a little higher up and patch in some metal, figure out where my floor pan is going to stop on this one, because like I said, it only comes up about 4.5 or 5 inches into the toe board. So we're going to get this piece cut out, and then we can start trimming that other piece to fit. Okay, well, I've got my piece kind of test fit in there, and it's not exactly where it needs to be. The contours of the reproduction pan are not the same as the original pan, plus the original pan is pretty dented in a few areas. You can see right here in the trans tunnel right here, it's got some damage done to it, so the pan is not sitting down that way like it needs to, which is also causing it not to sit along the rocker like it needs to. It really should be over this way some, so more like that, and then that's up over there. So you know, it's once I cut some of this shorter, because like these contours right here are not exactly the same, so it's not going to set down on there. Once I cut that farther down, it'll be much better. And you can see this this area right here actually cleaned up really well, so I should be able to weld to that without any issue. Now my rocker is a lot heavier pitted than I thought it was, but it's not bad enough to where I'm going to worry about it right now. This area's got some rust in it, so I might come up here and go across here. Like I said, that reinforcement panel's right here, so that's not the worst, but it's pretty heavily pitted, so I probably need to do something about that. I'm not sure how far into this I'm going to get. If you get over to this side, it's not pitted as bad, and the reinforcement also goes this way, so that's better. But really right about here is where the reinforcement runs. You can kind of see a little bit of a ridge right there. So I want to stay out of where my seat bolt holes and all that stuff's supposed to be, but like I said, really this thing would need an entire floor pan. So I've got this test fitted, my torque box here. I got all the spot welds cut out of that. Little wire clip or something for a transmission cable, brake cable, not probably speedometer cable. They went right there. Yeah, that's not too bad. So it's a little rusty, but it's pretty thick, and it's not really it's just more surface rust on that piece. So I'll figure out exactly what I'm going to do as far as how to clean that up. I've got a little bit more up here to clean up, but I don't want to get too high above my patch panel. Okay guys, so we got the gas tank dropped. We looked at the trunk, got it cleaned out a little bit, looked at the deck filler panel, and we ordered some floor pans and a deck filler. Cut part of the floor out, got a patch panel kind of halfway fitted to it, and that's it. Now that's not a lot of work, but we're going to keep moving. It's going to start coming together. I did spend a lot of time over the last few days going and looking at parts, different things. I think I found a motor. I got to go look at that tomorrow. I found a few dead ends that I wasted a lot of time on, so we didn't get a bunch of work done. But I did order a few things off eBay, a couple of things here and there. So we're making progress, even though the video's not showing that much. We're going to do a live on Sunday night, every Sunday night, even though I screwed up the first one because I didn't feel well. Hey, we're going to make it happen. This thing's going to get done, going to drive to Daytona. So we'll see you guys next video.